Sound test, sound test. Alright, I think we're live. I think we are. Hello chat. Hello everybody. Hope you guys are well. Welcome to the stream. I'm very sorry for this slight delay. I kind of got carried away doing some calculations here for the flight and ended up not paying attention to the time, and then X-plane starting took a whole lot amount of time, and hence the delay that we had. So guys, I hope you're well. Welcome to this live stream. Just as you asked, Buffalo Airways DC-3 flights on this Northern Canada. Oh boy. What I'm sorry. I guess that's you, Shay TP. That was such an entrance. Welcome to Yellowknife, Northern Canada, and Buffalo Airways DC-3 Freeware from Airworks. They just released an updated version yesterday, so pretty cool. We got the GNS version fixed, which is the version I wanted to use, even though it has the Garmin, and it's not very nice to fly a DC-3 with GPS, but I think in real life they fly these airplanes mostly with GPS as well, because basically the old radio navigation stuff is being phased out. So yeah, we're gonna fly without autopilot anyways today, and the GPS is gonna basically only give us help with the direction to where we should be going, because the rest of the flight will be done VFR, so we're gonna go absolutely visual, and all visual approach, even though we have some RNAV arrivals to some of the destinations. But yeah, we're gonna make this as old school as possible, and I think that would be fun. So yeah, DC-3 flight. What's going to be interesting today? We're going to fly some gravel runways, and they should be fairly difficult depending on the load, of course. What else should be funny? The weather so far looks good. I hope there won't be anything crazy coming on to us. DC-3 is fairly easy to fly, no autopilot, just as I said, and we should do some planning at the beginning. So if you guys remember, last time we flew the DC-3, I was doing that run for Northwest Airlines. I had a small problem on one of the engines. It was producing slightly less power, and then the issue kind of got away by itself. And well, basically that was all by my mistake. Because I thought about it later, and the issue is really very simple. This is the engines on this airplane still have carburetor, and you can have icing on the carburetor. So what I basically wasn't paying attention to was the temperature and the position of my throttles and the carburetor heat valve. Basically that's what happened there. We got some icing on one of the engines, and we got lucky because we didn't crash, but Emil did. If you guys can remember, that was a little bit weird, and I'm here not to make fun of him, but to learn with that. And the DC-3 actually has an instrument to indicate the carburetor temperature, which is very cool. So we're gonna give ourselves a little bit of time to understand what is a carburetor, why is it dangerous to have icing on it, and why does icing happens there. And basically I'm going to cover that real quick with the help of the trustworthy paint, and then we're going to jump into some planning, or no, probably we're going to jump into the planning first, then into the carburetor, and then we're going to go straight to the flight. And it's going to be a pretty quick pace flight. At least I want to do it as quick as possible, so this is going to be fun. Another thing you guys are going to be voting on is the load that we are going to be taking. So we're going to plan the fuel. You're going to see what I did with the fuel. That's fairly interesting. And then I will create a vote on the stream in 30 seconds probably with 4 different loads. And you guys got to pick what is the load that we're going to be taking on each leg. So I'm going to be putting votes on every leg, and you guys will be able to vote on it. So that's basically it. Let me create real quick then the first vote for the first flight. So load for first leg. Nice. Be great if I would be writing something. Load on the first leg. Now it's gonna be either this, either that. Now we're not gonna be flying overweight today, that's for sure. I'm gonna leave that maybe for a little bit later for the next flight. But yeah, that we're gonna have 4 options. Each one of them is interesting, I think, because the flights are overall interesting. So I've created the poll. Let's leave the airplane like right here. Oh, nice. The pilot is doing a good job inspecting the the propeller. I'm gonna leave the picture like this. It looks good. This plane, this livery, looks nice. And yeah, let me just shout out everybody who's in chat. JTP, Sting Crash, Flyer 297, Yekaterina. Hey guys, thank you for coming. Let's have some fun. So starting with the planning. First of all, let me show you what I have on the screen. So here it comes. This is basically the briefing. This is what we're going to be doing. This is like a general brief. So everything that we're going to do on today's flight, apart from specific departures and arrivals, we're going to cover up right now. So today's mission is very simple. We are right now at Yellowknife, and we're going to be doing 3 stops with a final return to Yellowknife, which is going to be the 4th leg on today. First leg is going to be to Fort Providence, which is right here, 113 miles. Now, I've calculated with SimBrief, calculate and compare tool, each one of those legs, and I took the trip fuel and all that stuff, so I have all the information regarding that, regarding the times, the fuel consumptions, all that stuff. And why? Because I don't want to refuel on any place. Why am I doing that? Just for fun. And because that takes a little bit of planning. So first leg to Fort Providence, that's going to be 113 miles. That's 48 minutes in flight. I'll try to get it as quick as possible. And we should be burning 217 kilos of fuel. Next leg, the second leg, is going to be to Hay River. That's going to be 60 miles and 31 minutes. From Hay River, we go to Fort Resolution. That's 21 miles. Correction, that's 64 miles. And it shows me 21 minutes. That's probably because we're going to have a nice tailwind. And we should burn 96 kilos of fuel. And the final leg to Yellowknife is going to be 80 miles straight, 151 kilos and 39 minutes. So that's basically what I took over. Now, how can we calculate the Vladin up? What do you mean? Chat in up? Oh, and Sync Crash Flyer, is it nighttime? No, this is morning, because I really want to catch up the morning light. I think it would look kind of cool, and also because I don't have any ortho photos for the flight. Oh, just for fun, don't worry. You guys scared me. But yeah, we're gonna have the autopiloting up, so that sticker is really putting itself to work, and I really hope that we won't have any oh no situation, but a lot of clear prop situations. So continuing with that, so what did I do? You guys know when we create a SimBrief flight, basically, and you come here to the document, you have here your fuel load. You basically have all of these things like the trip, the taxi, the trip, the contingency, the alternate, the final reserve, some additional fuel, and then comes the total, and then you can extra or tanker. For instance, that's what we're going to be doing today. Sync Crash Flyer, that's a nice emoji. that'll be something to add, maybe something similar on a later stage. That's really cool. And finally, you have the planned block, which is usually what you're going to end up loading. So what I could do, and what probably most of the people would be doing, is they would simply calculate the planned block for each leg, and they would add up all of them together. So for instance, I did that to compare. First leg, we require 533 kilos of planned block. The second leg, we require 540. So those two combined are already 1,120 kilos. Third leg requires 434 block, and the final leg requires 564 kilos of block. Why is this information important to us, even though we won't be using it to calculate the fuel exactly? We need to make sure that we have at least this fuel on each leg to comply with all legal requirements. That means we're going to have fuel to taxi, to fly, to return to an alternate, to contingency, to all that stuff. So that's going to be the useful information for us. But we can't simply add all these four numbers, because if we add these four numbers, the amount of fuel is going to be close to 2,000 kilos of fuel, which is a lot. And that's way too much. We're going to be limited by weight and probably limited by the amount of fuel we can take on board. And so what I did, I took the trip fuel on all of the flights, right? I took the taxi fuel, so I made a little graph here. Can you guys read this, or do I need to maybe, you know what, let me real quick open here WordPad, and I'll, yeah, that's a little bit better. Let me increase the size of this. Let me make this like black, then like this, like this, like this, and finally should come like this. So you should be able to read a little bit better right now. So this is basically all the information that we have for each leg. Basically, this is the trip fuel, which we require. Now, SimBrief gave us a 40 kilos of fuel burn per taxi. I think that's too much. But I'm going to leave that. So we need to think ahead, and if we have 4 legs, that means we're going to have to burn 4 times the taxi fuel, right? So we're going to burn 160 kilos of taxi fuel. Then I merged all the total trips fuel. That gives us 588 kilos, right? Then I took the contingency, which actually, according to what I learned, should be either 5% or 5 minutes, whichever is greater. I consider that 5% is going to be higher because the total trip right here, we apply the 5% from the total trip, is going to be definitely more than just 5 minutes from 1 hour. So that's 30 kilos. Finally, I took the alternates. So from all the flights, we got and assume that we fly to Yellowknife, and for the final leg, instead of going to Yellowknife, our alternate is Hay River. So that is going to be about actually the same. So let me just confirm. 105 miles. So that's even less than the longest flight that we have. So I took the longest alternate that we have. So that's the longest fuel for the longest alternate. And finally, the final reserve, 45 minutes for reciprocating engines, which is our case today, basically. So 45 minutes is 121 kilos of fuel. So if we add up all of this, we're going to have 116 kilos on board. Now I'm going to round this up by adding an extra 34 just to make myself comfortable by loading the plane. So we're going to depart with 1,150 kilos. So this is literally 900 kilos less, or 800 kilos less than if than the fuel that we would be having if we would just simply add the block fuel. And why is that? Well, because it's very simple. each flight, when you're speaking of block fuel, you are actually speaking of all these components like the trip, the contingency, alternate, final, reserve, and additional. But if you complete a leg, right? So let's say we complete the first leg, we didn't use the alternate fuel, right? So we don't need to carry extra alternate fuel for the second leg. We can use the fuel from the first alternate, yeah? If the things go wrong, if we have an oh no situation for some reason, and we're gonna have to, I don't know, divert or go somewhere else, then we would need to recalculate and all that stuff. But because we're bringing so much fuel already with us, we can account for that situation absolutely fine. And now, what we could do is, I didn't write the block fuels right here, but if I take all the taxi, basically everything that we're going to be burning from the first 3 legs, which is going to be this, this, and this, plus 3 times 40, right? The value of the fuel that we're going to have left is going to be above or close, I think it's within like 6 or 8 kilos of the block fuel that we require for the final leg. So that means we took less fuel, we're spending less fuel because we are lighter as well. We paid less for the fuel itself, and we calculated everything correctly. So this is basically what we're going to be doing regarding planning. So our final fuel is going to be 1,150 kilos. And now if we divide this by wings by 2, this is going to be 575 kilos. Now, because the DC-3 has 2 tanks per wing, it has a main tank and an extra tank, I think I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure we can. I will take 25 kilos for the extra tank and 550 for the main tank. So that's going to be our fuel, basically, how we're going to split it, right? Anybody got questions about something? I don't know. I really like this stuff. I think it's interesting. Kind of, you are kind of thinking about the real life, and that's cool. Then we can check SimBrief. Now we're looking for the rest of the stuff. We can take a look at the wind to see what can we expect regarding the winds. Now my question is, at what altitude are we seeing the wind right now? Because I really don't... flight level 050, perfect. Yeah, that's good enough. 050, probably not going to be flying above that. So it looks like we're going to have a slight tailwind. Actually, correction, a slight headwind on the first flight. Then it's going to be mainly tailwind / crosswind for the next 2 legs. That's really good. We have no significant weather as far as I'm concerned. Let me check real quick. Actually, we do have some isolated embedded cumulonimbus, so this might be interesting, and this system actually should be moving over to Yellowknife or close to. So, actually interesting weather here. Let's hope we don't catch any icing. What else can I see? Infrared satellite. Yeah, we do have some clouds. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna try to fly VFR with the ground in sight during the entire flight. And that's it. JTP, in what order? Clockwise? No. Counter clockwise. So like this here, this way. So first leg this one, second leg, third, and fourth leg. And by the way, glad that Synchronous Flyer, you liked the explanation. I don't know. I kind of want to share these things with the community. Because many people who are watching me, I think, at least, are flight simmers, and they don't get to see all this preparation. And this is something we do in real life, and I find it really interesting, so I try to share this. Another thing we should take into account is the grid motor. So you can see the areas are separated by these squares or rectangles in this case, and they all have these numbers, and basically those numbers are the grid minimum off-route altitude. So that means if we fly above the altitude that's written right here, in this case is 1,800 feet, we're going to be above any obstacle in this area. And why is this important? Well, because we can see what's going to be the minimum altitude for our route, so we can think that we can fly safely. So far, I don't see basically any rectangle above 2,000 feet. So if we fly above 2,000 feet, we should be safe from all terrain. So that is very good. All right, what else can I cover? The weather is covered. Actually, it is covered there, the isolated embedded cumulonimbus. I checked windy as well. Really cool tool. So far, looking good as well. And that's about it. So far, we got some votes on the load of the plane. I have my charts here. We have SIDs and all that stuff, but we're going to be flying absolutely visual, so no specific departures. The only thing we're going to be paying attention to are these notes right here that speak about the departure procedure, basically because they have some obstacles right here, and that's important to know. And that's basically it, right? Okay, so let's go into X-plane. Let's get into the plane. Let's load it up, make sure that everything is good. I'm going to be loading the plane via the menu of X-plane because we don't have a custom menu to load everything. And because, and also I will be checking the fuel that we're going to have left for one simple reason. Because I don't trust the fuel gauges. And in real life, you would come after each flight with a stick, and you would check the fuel on each wing to make sure how much fuel do you really have. So the fuel gauges are not very trustworthy, even though in the sim they probably work. We're gonna assume that in reality it's not like that. So here we have, let's go. Time to finish the vote. First vote. Oh wow. We got one vote per each per each weight. Lol. All right, I'm gonna have to redo this. Let's do this real quick again. Second try, or first leg. Second try. Then do empty. Yeah, I'm thinking of doing empty then as well. Or you know what? I'm just wait. I will just do it very quickly again. You guys can vote again. So let's see. And empty. There we go. So you guys can vote it again while I put the fuel here. So I required, or at least I wanted on the auxiliary, I wanted 25 and 25 and then 550. Let's see if I can do it. Yes, I can. That's literally full tank, I think. Yeah, that looks, no, it's barely full tank. Close. 1,150 kilos, that's it. And that is it. ShowTP, why are we flying at 3 a.m.? Why not? I want to catch the sunrise. I want to have some dynamic lighting and see the clouds change the color and all that stuff. That's basically it. All right, do you guys have the votes? I see 33% again. Okay, we need one more vote to break this even. Whoever is going to vote, don't vote on 1,800 because we got, again, one vote per each. Whoever is watching, don't vote on 1,800. Vote on something else. And so we can peak a load. But yeah, basically that is it. Also, guys, once we start the engines, this airplane is quite loud. So I really want to make sure that that you guys can hear me. I've lowered a little bit the sim volume, but I can lower it slightly more in case you need. So if you start to hear me slightly bad, please tell me, and I will adjust it. All right, come on. We need one more vote. One more vote to pick up the load, and then it's gonna be it. Let me actually put... Nah, 0. I'll put done. Apply the changes. Let's come into the airplane. Let's actually get ready. Shay TP is going to join us on the Q400, which is really nice. And for me, I'm flying cargo. So even though this GNS version has the passenger seats, I don't think Buffalo operates passenger flights right now. They did in the past, but not anymore. So we're going to just simply assume that this is cargo. Let me turn the ground power unit. Let's turn on the nav lights. Turn on the no smoking lights, because actually we don't, never mind. We're flying cargo, we don't need that. And I really want to just come here to the GPS, set this to GPS, and let's come to the flight plan. Yeah, I need to update the AREC, I forgot again, RIP. And we need to add the first stop. First stop is Fort Providence. So I really hope we have that here. Whoever is watching, we need one more vote to decide what load are we going to be picking on the first leg. So Fort Providence is going to be Juliet Papa. Let's dial that in really quick. You show up like an A320 for me. ShayTP, that's probably because you don't have an object for X-Pilots. So you need to go to the forums. If you search for DC-3 XCSL or CSL object, then you can download it, and you can see me as a DC-3. But yeah, that's basically the annoying part of X-Plane. All right, that's basically it. We're going to be transponding 1200 because we are flying VFR. I'll leave the DME on. I could set up some frequencies, some additional frequencies, but I don't think we require. Let me check here the fuel. Fuel is just as we need. Perfect. All right, very good. So we still have the same votes. All right, in this case, I'm going to finish this vote, and I'm going to pick up empty, because empty was literally the first or the only one that nobody took. Okay, in that case, let's start up, guys. Let's start up the day. First flight to Fort Providence from Yellowknife. Let me just make sure that we have no ATC Winnipeg Center. Does this affect us? That's my question. That'd be very fun if it did, because I haven't submitted a flight plan. And I know I should, but we're flying VFR and I really don't want to do it. I will prepare myself for a flight plan anyways. Why is SimAware not working? You don't have the SimAware working? Oh, that's annoying. Let me try Vatastic. I really just want to check if the ATC Winnipeg Center. No, that's not applicable to us. Beautiful. Okay, that means we can go. All right, so let's come to the outside. Let's close the doors. Doors are closed. Let's clear up everything. Let's come here to the top. Set up the beacon light on. Magnetos to on. Let's pull the mixture forward. I know my starting sequence is a little bit incorrect according to the real plane, but that's because I can't touch things at the same time. Okay, we've got some priming. Let's open the cowling flaps. And we need some clear prop stickers in the chat, guys. Clear prop. I'm gonna start number 2. And you know what? Let me just check something. I think starter. What keys are this? Key 6, key 5. I'm just reconfiguring. There we go. Let's start from the outside. ML, you're gonna join me on the second leg. That's cool. Let's go. So, throttle's vital, props are good, mixture is full forward, cowling flaps open. Let's go. Let's start it up. That's pretty cool. Alright, we got one engine started. Oil pressure is good. Let's prime the second one. Got to switch on the fuel pumps. And let's start number 1. From the outside again, why not? Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Oil pressure is good. Switch on the generators. Anti-collision no, but the inverter on. Taxi light on. Flaps are up. Oh, I forgot to talk about the carburetor. Alright, we're gonna talk about that in flight. At least I'll try to talk about it in flight. We're gonna have the biggest leg right now. Alright, stabilize at 1000 RPM. And I will check the weather on X-plane. Wind 089 at 6. 089 at 6. While the engines will warm up, we're going to be taking a look at our departure. So latest METAR for Yellowstone, wind is 160 at 9. QNH is 3011, let's set that. In case we don't have a QNH reading, how can we do it? Very simple. We can just take a look at the elevation of the airfield, 672, and then check the altimeter, what's reading. So, with a wind of 160 at 9, we could taxi along onto Bravo, then Alpha to Hotel, runway 16, and then depart. That's going to be the best runway to go. So I guess that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Runway 16, do we have any nodes? Yeah, we have. Trees 2, 682 above sea level, approximately 0.2 nautical miles past departure, and the runway 150 feet right of runway center line. So we have some trees there. We're going to pay attention to that. And so far, so good. Let's check the before tax checklist. Crew and passengers, well, don't have that. Starboard door is secured, light off, radios on, set clock set, parking brake off. Let's go. Now, Shay TP on his modern Q400 is going to be flying way quicker than I will. So that is going to be actually fairly interesting. Nobody there on the right. Also, guys, there is a beautiful scenery of Yellowknife Airport. But the orthos that come with it basically are terrible and breaks completely the immersion to me. So I decided to not take it. Sky Sailor, hey, welcome to the stream. How are you? Just in time for the first departure out of Yellowknife. Alright, oil pressure is good. Fuel pressure is good. The rest looks to be absolutely fine. Just check here, cylinder temperature is good, oil temperature is good. Carburetor air temperature. Here is the instrument I was speaking about. That's important stuff for our flight. And then we have to continue into Bravo, onto the right. Let's go, guys. Will we get to take off okay? How can you check a takeoff configuration on a DC-3? The wind, according to the windsock, is actually blowing slightly off. Well, that makes sense because the wind on the METAR is in true direction and the runways are magnetic. That's fine. Let's go, take off, okay. So let's stop here. We're gonna do a quick run up. Stop, set the parking brake. Also, let me set the frequency to 1 to 2.8 because I forgot. And that's important because we're flying online. 1 to 2.8 is set. Let's taxi line off. Let's do a quick run up. Push the RPM to 2000. Got enough temperature on the aisle. 2000 on the RPM. Now let's do right magneto. There's the drop. You can barely see, but the needle moves. And now it came back. Beautiful. Let's try the other mag. There's the drop. And there's the recovery. Very good. Let's do the other mag, or the other engine. It's good. And it has recovered. There's the drop. And there is a recovery. Now I need to check the carburetor heat. There you can see I have a bind. These are basically the levers. I pushed it and you can see immediately the temperature going up and down when I close it. Very good. Now put the throttles to idle. Make sure the engines don't quit. Temperatures and pressures are within limits, just the oil temperature is slightly on the low side. Let me check carburetor heat. It's fine. And off. Back to 1000 RPM. Engine run up complete. There comes JTP. So, the runway's clear, approach end is clear. Let's go. Fuel pumps are on. Taxi and landing lights are on. And the anti-collision light is on. Transponder set to on. Let me check that works. Yes, it does. Before takeoff, altimeter is set. Make sure it's rich. Landing lights on. Fuel boost pumps on. pitot heat off. Flaps off. Cowling flaps should go to trail. And let's go. Before takeoff, checklist complete. Brakes released. Yellowknife traffic, Buffalo 311, lining up runway 164, departure, Yellowknife. Let's confirm again that we have no traffic. Beautiful. Let's go. Do a nice lineup. That's about good. Let's stop here. And first we need to apply power. Now, I know that we have to lock the tail wheel for departure, but I think the developer of the plane told on the forums that it doesn't work, so we're gonna just leave it as is. There's 2000 RPM, engine parameters are stable. Let's go. Oh, I love this sound. Set 42 inches. There comes the tail. Lower the nose, let the airplane accelerate. Airspeed is alive. Bit wobbly. 85, slight rotation, let's go. Positive climb, gear up. Let her accelerate. Temperatures are all good. Note I'll actually open the cowling flaps, as I was watching the temperatures there kind of climbing. Alright, let's reduce a bit the manifold pressure, reduce the props. 2300. Trim the airplane properly. Lights off. And we can go to the rate. Also, I need to set the course to 18. Like that. There we go. Ah, that's lovely. So let's climb initially 4,500 feet. And then keep going. Past 2,500, looking good. Temperatures are all good. Now we can go into trail. I want to maintain the cylinder temperature here on the green. Bit of aileron trim to the left because the airplane was rolling to the right. And we could switch off the fuel pumps. So I forgot to switch over to the battery source. Alright guys, so we're flying an empty plane right now to Port Providence, and you guys need to vote on the load for the second leg. So that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm not gonna put empty because we're already flying empty. So here it goes. By the way, whoever is watching and enjoying our takeoff from Yellowknife, please give me a like for that beautiful departure. That's definitely looking good. Let's check the outside. Whoa, that's a nice sky. And by the way, guys, remember, autopiloting up. So this is gonna be hand flown till the very end. Approaching 4,500 feet. Yeah, 100 to level off. Maybe we could even climb higher. I'm just a little bit I'm thinking about the weather. Yeah, let's maintain 4,500. Let's lower the nose. Let's go for that 4,500. Lower the manifold pressure to 30. Lower the props RPM to 2,000. Now we need to trim the airplane. 200 feet above. Let's correct that. Should be within 100. Using that to accelerate, and I can close the cowling flaps. Cowling flaps closed. and we will lean the mixture in a second. Cooler, hello, welcome to the stream, just in time. First departure, we got 3 more. Manifold pressure, I want to go for 30. Almost leveling off. Couple of trim clicks. And let's give a nice lean on the mixture. This looks good. Here we go, we're cruising. All the parameters are set. Everything's on the green. Temps are looking nice. And flying. That is looking really sweet. Ana Clara Santana, gracias for what? But anyways, welcome to the stream. Alright, let me check here. This is definitely wrong. Talking a range of 200 miles. Showing a distance of 100. There's something wrong here. Let me double check. Let's use the good old VOR. Yellowknife VOR is 115.5. 115.5. So let's come here and set 115.5. Change that. Make sure we're flying on the correct radial, which should be about 218. The tail of the needle is correct, so we're flying fine. ShayTP, you will absolutely catch me up, and you will not only catch me up, but you will pass me on the flight, so just keep going. Probably be the first one to arrive. Now, while we are here in cruise, fairly stable, I'm almost not touching the controls apart from some little aileron movement. I wanted to talk about Carburetor, and why is it important on these engines, right? And why did we have that problem? So basically, what is a carburetor? A carburetor is a way to introduce mixture. In this case, mixture is fuel and air into the cylinders, so we can create an explosion to drive the piston to create a rotational force. First of all, a linear and then a rotational force, so we can use that to turn our propeller and so create power, torque, and all that stuff. Modern engines use injectors, which are basically devices that inject fuel either directly to the cylinder or very close to the intake of the cylinder. But the carburetor basically is a sort of a tube, let's call it a tube, that uses the principle of Venturi. So it's something like this. And here you have a little fuel nozzle, and fuel comes out of this thing here. So basically this is the movement of air, and here you have your valve. This is like the throttle. Basically when you apply full throttle, this valve opens, so it becomes like this, and when you close the throttle, it closes the tube. why is it important to understand the Venturi theory? It's very simple. Let's say, how can you get a volume of air that's coming from here? Let's say I have a bubble of air of this size that is coming at a certain speed through this part right here. For this bubble of air to come through this part right here, it has to accelerate, right? Otherwise it will slow down. So it has to accelerate to pass through this part right here. This acceleration, this is the same when you open a window in your house just by a little bit, and you have another window open from the other part of the house. You start to create that wind current, and it kind of grows in speed the smaller the gap is. Same principle here. So the air, by coming through this lower area, accelerates, the pressure decreases, and the temperature decreases too. What it does as well is, because the velocity increases, it basically creates suction, and so it sucks all this fuel from that nozzle, and then creates the mixture which goes to the piston and all that stuff. So that's very cool, very simple, and very efficient. The problem is, as I told you, right here in this area, because the temperature decreases, it can create icing. And it decreases actually so much, it can decrease like 20 or 30 degrees. So even though you might have an outside temperature of plus 20 or plus 30 or something like that, you can still have icing, especially if you're flying in conditions which are very humid, maybe in clouds or fog or something like that. So it's very dangerous. It also can create icing on the throttle valve right here, because when it closes, it always creates a small gap in this area right here, and so the ice starts to build up right here on this area here, and you can have a stuck valve and then a completely sealed tube, which will deprive the cylinders and the engine of any air and fuel, leaving you basically without your mixture, and that's why the engines will quit. That's exactly what happened on ML's flight last time. So usually the planes don't have an instrument reading the carburetor temperature, but the DC-3 actually has, and that's very, very cool. So right now we are applying a certain amount of power, and that's very nice. So you can read that the carburetor air temperature is around 40 degrees because the engine is so warm, so it heats up. But I will display you in a second. If I put the throttles to idle, which I will do right now, take a look. Look at the temperature. Look at it go. And all of a sudden we are minus 25 in the carburetor. So that is exactly why we need the carburetor heat. And now I'll just put back the cruise power. Let me get myself back into the comfortable altitude. That's 4,500 feet. Set the same manifold pressure. Let it accelerate back to a comfortable speed and keep going. And that's basically what happened with Emil and what happened with me. I got lucky because I was descending without the throttles on idle. And because of that, I never fully closed that tube. And because I never closed that tube, the icing buildup was not so strong. Emil, on the other hand, he was descending completely with the throttle on idle. So he got the full effect of carburetor icing. Now airplane, are you more or less stable now or not? We're slightly descending, but we still have airspeed to build up. That's why I'm not pushing it still. And we're a little bit to the left. We need to go to the right. Yeah, there we go. That's a bit better. So when we use the carburetor heat, which are basically these throttles here, look at what happens at the air temperature. Goes way up. And that's how you prevent icing buildup in the carburetor. Now, if you want to know a little bit more, where does the carburetor heat comes from? Basically, it's very simple. It's a different air intake, which is being warmed up by the exhaust gases. So it's basically air that is warmer, and it goes inside through the engine. And now you could ask me another question. Then, okay, well, I got what is the Venturi theorem, or whatever, the Venturi principle. I understand what's the Venturi tube. I understand what's a carburetor and how it sucks fuel. And I understand the speed increase, the pressure drop, and the temperature drop, and how can ice build up and all that stuff. But I don't understand why, when we apply carburetor heat, we're getting less power. Anybody knows the reason? Emil, you cannot say the answer because we briefed that with you. But whoever in chat is watching and knows the reason, please tell us. And I think I can close this. Okay, so far I see as well that we've got 7 votes, and the most amount of votes goes to 1,800 kilos, so that is going to be our next load, as it seems. Limonchik, hello, have a nice flight, thank you very much, welcome to the stream. So, I'm going to tell you why, when applying carburetor heat, we're getting less power. That's very simple, guys. Think of this. Think of the temperature of the air. If the air is hotter, is it more or less dense? It's less dense, right? So if the air coming to the engine is hotter, that means it's less dense, and that means that the explosion that will be produced inside of the engine is not so strong, and that's exactly why you lose power. That's the same reason, for instance, why you have less power on a hot day and more power on a cold day. But with the carburetor heat, you're actually controlling that through the engine. So that's very cool to know as well. Right, we have 27 minutes in. ShayTP should be already past us. Yes, he is, absolutely. Let me see where he is. Oh man, there he is. Nice, look at that, beautiful. And look at the outside, we are missing such a sunrise. Wow, that's exactly why I wanted to set the sunrise. Look at this, guys. I mean, the clouds are not perfect, absolutely not, but it looks quite nice, I must say. Wow. Let me try to take a screenshot, like something like... wait, I need to set Shift 6. And now I can do it like maybe this. Man, look at that. Wow. I love the reflection of the plane. Man, that is so cool. YouTube is broken in Russia. Why? What happened? ShayTP, the 777 General Electric engines are big for this reason in the Middle East, so it can suck more air. And then I can't read the rest of the phrase. I heard that somewhere. Aha, okay, yeah, that makes sense. ShayTP. But I think that's not the only reason the engines are that big. Basically, in my opinion, those engines are big because of their bypass ratio. basically the jet engine, it has, I'm gonna call it two parts. It has the high pressure part and then the low pressure part. Now wait, it's maybe not like the best way to tell, to explain this, but let me try. Let me show you. Let me try to show you. We have 25 minutes in flight, so should be plenty of time to show you. Basically, on a modern jet engine, you have the middle section, which is like the main part where you have like the compressors, then you have the combustion chamber where everything explodes, and then you have the turbine section which rotates, and basically the turbine is connected to the compressor. So this is really interesting because basically what's here is rotating this, so the more this part rotates, the more it rotates this, the more power comes, and etc. But that's not the part that I wanted. Basically, the jet engine is something relatively thin, and then you have that big turbo fan on the front, right? And there comes the case. So probably if you have noticed a picture online, let me see, jet engine, high bypass. Basically, yeah, this would be like somewhat of a jet engine. With the central section, let me open this picture. The central section with the compressors, the combustion chambers, the turbines. This is like the high pressure part, and that's the low pressure part. And basically the low pressure part, so you got a low pressure compressor, or correction, a low, you have one turbine driving this huge fan on the front, which is driving cool air around the engine. And that cool air also creates thrust, and that's what's called the high bypass engine. All this, why are the modern engines so big? Because of this huge fan in the middle. So for instance, do you guys know the small engines on the 737-200? They are very small, right? Because they don't have that big fan on the front. I think the GA90 on the 777 has it exactly because of this. Here's a better picture as well. Let me open this up. Basically the big engine is to accommodate this huge fan, because this huge fan creates additional thrust apart from all this main section of the engine. I don't know if you guys can understand this, or ShayTP. Did you get it? Did you understand? Ivanchik, I should stream on YouTube. But why is YouTube broken? Oh, YouTube is blocked? Ah, man. That's annoying. That's really annoying. Luke, 1234, any news from Flight Gear? Our new shaders are ready or something? Honestly, I have no idea. I checked from time to time Flight Gear forum. Oh man. But I'm not really paying much attention into it. I really want to. I kind of want to do a stream with Flight Gear, showing that Flight Gear, if you don't have the money to go on X-Plane and all that stuff, Flight Gear is just enough to provide the basics and learn a lot. So, but I have no idea how's the rest of the stuff. Man, we got such a sunrise here in northern Canada. That looks pretty nice. Cooler, Austin's video on the Vision Jet is a fantastic explainer of the physics of it. Yes, I haven't watched it, but I'm sure he explains it very well. The Vision Jet, though, because of its size, probably doesn't have a very good, or not a very good, but it doesn't have a very high bypass ratio because it can't accommodate a big fan on the front of the engine because it's limited. But I made a very clumsy explanation right now, because I wasn't prepared to speak about engines. So in my head it makes sense, but it might not make for you. But it's very interesting. Like the turbine engines, are a fantastic creation. I still can't understand how somebody is so smart to create such a thing. Yeah, the video is him doing a big math explainer on why the Vision Jet is inefficient. There you go. Basically, what is good or about the low bypass ratio, fighter jets use it because it creates a lot of thrust, like raw thrust, but at the same time it is not efficient in terms of the amount of fuel it burns. So you can use it a lot better. And basically the newer big jet turbines, which use those huge turbo fans on the front, those engines can achieve an efficiency of around 90%, which is incredible if we compare it, for instance, with the normal engine, which is like 30%. So that is very good. Oh man, I'm loving the colors, and I think the fact that we don't have any orthos is not affecting us at all. It's looking very good. Cool, but it ends up being a perfect entrance. I guess that's what you a perfect entry into the science behind bypass engines. Yeah, very good. So JTP, go watch that video. I don't know, turbine engines are incredible. And we could talk more about that if we for instance talk about turboprops. That's another type of turbine engines. And two turboprops which I really like. One of those is the Metroliner, and the other one is the King Air. They are both turboprops, so they are running a turbine to run a prop. So it's like a mix of a turbine and a propeller. And the King Air specifically, I always thought, I don't know, when watching those videos of the startup of the engines, the Metroliner always started kind of differently from the King Air. The spool up of the prop was very different, and even like the sound of it. And that makes sense because you have such a thing which is called the free turbine, which is basically a turbine which rotates the propeller, but that is not linked to the rest of the engine. So it's kind of windmilling with the jet thrust, and that's creating the torque and all that stuff. But it's literally called the freight turbine because it's not linked. On the Metroliner, it doesn't have that. So the prop is directly linked through a gearbox with the rest of the engine, and that's why the starting sequence is so different. Or I mean, it's not different, it just looks different and sounds different. Syncrash Flyer, is the A400M also a turboprop? I think so, yeah. Turbines are really incredible things. And we're not... Oh boy, is it raining? Really? It is raining. What's the temperature outside? It is 10 degrees, so... 10 degrees. You know what? Just for the sake of it, I'm gonna turn on the pitot heat, because just as we spoke about the carburetor heat, the pitot, it kind of works the same as a Venturi because it's a small entrance for the air. So that's exactly why you have a pitot heat. Yeah, that's exactly why I have a pitot heat, because the air gets there. Happens the same as in the Venturi. The pressure drops, temperature drops, ice can build up into the pitot tube, and all of a sudden you lose your airspeed indicator, and it's no fun. 17 minutes in. How are we looking in the fuel? Looking good so far. I'm gonna be checking the fuel quantity after every leg to make sure we have enough, and it's gonna be fine. Another thing we need to think about. We are gonna be approaching right now over to Fort Providence, right? That's the first airfield we're gonna go into. First of all, can I check the weather already? Oh, I see we have a plane there. 523 QNH 1016. I need to convert QNH to inches of mercury. 1016. That's 3000 literally. So let's correct that. Let's adjust our altitude just a tiny bit. So far, so good. Been flying stable. Empty plane as well. Flying beautifully. Okay, so next flight, or actually next arrival, that's what I wanted to say. We need to take a look at the chart and make sure that we are at least kind of prepared. So brief time, guys, this is gonna be brief time. So arrival elevation is 524 feet, so we can assume that circuit altitude is going to be 1,500 feet. I want to find the strip, and I want to make sure that I overfly it at least once, so I can kind of locate myself, because I never landed there. And then we're going to set up for downwind for a runway. We could see what's temperature dew point, where's the wind, 136 at 5. So we should be going from the north. That's important to know. So we will be landing runway 14. It's a gravel strip, roughly 3,000 feet long. So that's 1 kilometer around, slightly less, like 950 meters probably. We have a slight slope, I see. Nah, very, very minimal, 4 feet of difference. And that's basically it. No additional notes. The rest of the charts are all RNAV GNSS arrivals, and we're not going to be doing that, so yeah, that's about it. I will be starting my descent, because we're flying at 4,500 feet. Let's say we start a descent of around minus 1,000, so we're gonna need to lose 3,000 feet. That's 3 minutes. So 3 minutes, or maybe like 4 to 5 minutes to the arrival. We're gonna be doing our descent. We're gonna land with flaps full. Approach speed is 85, and that's about it. That's the mini brief complete. So guys, are you enjoying the DC-3? Are you scared of the DC-3? I was scared of the DC-3 before. I thought it would be a very complicated plane due to the amount of instruments on the panel, and it kind of looked old and scary and complex. But in reality, this is like a big Cessna, basically. Man, look at this view. This is incredible. Looking really nice. Let me take a screenshot of that. Holy crap, that's very nice. Screenshot taken. I just not a fan of the rain, because it's kind of still raining, but at least we are not into the clouds. Yeah. Instrument-wise, the only weird part here probably is the fact that they're kind of located in a weird position. So our horizon is actually on the right side. We have the gyro on the main on the center part. Here we have an additional gyro, and it's synced to the GNS, which I very much like. Airspeed indicator, altitude indicator, vertical speed, turn coordinator. This is for navigation, and then you have this is a clock. Then you have flaps right here. By the way, here is to hear all the I'm missing the word, radio stations. So if I, for instance, select VOR1, we should be hearing the VOR. Oh, I very barely hear him. I very barely hear it. Yeah, below we have DME, ADF, transponder, nav1, actually correction, this is COM2, nav2, because nav1, nav2 is, COM1 is here, correction, nav1, COM1 is on the GNS. Then we have RPM, manifold pressure, oil pressure, fuel pressure, radio altitude, so we can even set the minimums, like literally we can come here and set the minimums. Exhaust gas temperature, so we can lean the engines, fuel on each engine, this is the trim, hydraulic pressure, outside air temperature, carburetor air temperature, very important, cylinder temperature, oil temperature, again, airspeed, turn coordinator, altitude, vertical speed, that's it. Here are the cowling flaps, operation, and on the top it's literally very simple: battery, starters, primers, auxiliary pumps, you cannot touch them, fuel pumps, generators, amp meters, so we can make sure that the generator is working properly, magnetos, de-icers, engine de-ice, I guess, yeah. This is lighting, better the prop if we have an engine failure, inverter, radio, lights, and that's it. Emergency escape on top, this doesn't work. Very simple. 9 minutes to go. Cooler, I think we spoke about this before, but you really have flown on the DC-3, right? I think so. I think you told us a story. You flew on a DC-3 before. In Germany. No, wait. Maybe I'm missing something, but I'm pretty sure we spoke about this and you told us the story. Sync Crash Flyer. V-Skylabs has a DC-3 with modern avionics like Buffalo Fly today, just as an information. Yeah, I know. That's really cool. I just think that we have such a brilliant Freeware plane like this one. And the cockpit is fantastic. I kind of prefer this cockpit to the V-Skylabs. I think this one is done slightly better. And this one is Freeware. And this one sounds better than the V-Skylabs. But for those who want an easier DC-3, maybe the V-Skylabs is actually slightly easier and a cleaner look. Also, I know you have the what it's called, the leading edge simulation, I think, LES, the DC-3. That looks kind of cool too, but it's very expensive. So this one for me is just enough. Cooler, you did? Yeah, okay, yeah, it was a Dutch. I missed, not German, but Dutch. But they brought it to France. They do regular tour flights, but out of Schiphol. Yeah, I'm still thinking of doing that flight from London, from Schiphol to London Heathrow on an old DC-3 without GPS and all that stuff, but I'm not sure it's going to be possible. Alright, I'm pretty sure that's the lake where this trip will be, so this is a good visual indicator. We are already looking ahead. SHATP is landing now. Fantastic. I think Emil is waiting for us on the tarmac, so this is gonna be busy for Port Providence today. Yeah, sun is coming very slowly, but it's coming. And I'm gonna finish the vote for the next flight. Our next load is gonna be 1,800 kilos of freight over to Hay River, our second leg of today. And we are 6 minutes in. You know what, I'll decrease, no wait, I'll maintain the manifold pressure, wait until 5 minutes and then start down. Cool, it's not cheap though, but if you ever get the finances, I'd recommend at least once. No, I totally understand. That's probably such an experience. Also, I wonder, would we have that many traffic on this road in real life? Because this looks like so much traffic. I don't know, maybe. Right, I'm deviating again slightly to the left. Let's catch up. I'm almost not flying the needle. I'm constantly going left and right, but I think that's fine. Yeah, Emma's coming. Oh, is that it? No, that's not it. We could take a look at Sky Vector once again before landing, just to access a little bit the terrain and maybe any visual clues that could help us out to make this visual approach. Let's check it out. Let me show you. So, we have this small island. We have one big island. And this part here. We have a mini lake on this island here. Okay, that might be something that could help us out to guide the plane. So we're gonna overfly the fields and turn right and then join the downwind and make the approach. Yeah, that sounds about good. Alex, can you show me please how to take off static aircrafts? So how to take out static aircrafts? Of course I can. Give me one moment, let me land, and then I'll come to the settings and I'll show you the option. Alright, so there's the big island. I can already see it. There's the small one. We should be able to see a small lake if it's simulated here. I don't think so, but there is one island. And the strip should be somewhere, oh, right there actually. There's ShayTP. Very nice, and there's Emil. So that's great stuff. Let's start descent. I'll decrease manifold pressure. Let the airplane start down. Gonna maintain the cooling flaps on. Check that the carburetor air temperature is still below 0. That's very important. And let's go down. Let me actually switch on the lights already. Make sure. There we go, that is minus 1,000 feet. Trim for this attitude. Very good. You know, actually we can see the strip so well that I probably can do a visual approach from here, because it's fairly easy. Let's do that. Let's aim for the lake. Let's save some fuel. I'm gonna go into idle. Check that temperature. See? That's me. That's idle. Now, adding carburetor heat on, just so above 0. So I can add just a little bit of air right there. Maintain ourselves. Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't want to dive. Just so. Yeah, this one is actually easy to spot. So let's save some time. The first leg, do a straight departure, and then if something else, I'm gonna do the overflight. Trim the airplane. I can even add a bit of power. We lost so much altitude on that descent. Temperature is good. I'll maintain the carburetor heat for now. We will maintain the props at 2000, cowling flaps closed. And mixture can come to full forward. Mixture is full forward, approaching 2000 feet. Let's continue the descent. Ah, now it's actually obscured because of the trees. That's interesting. Three miles out. Port Providence traffic, Buffalo 3113, 3 miles out for base turn, runway 14. Keep slowing down. Yeah, the airplane is flying a lot. We're empty. Approaching 1,500 feet. There's the strip. I can see it. You guys can see the strip. Let's go gear down. Flaps 1/2. I can see the runway. Flaps full. Speed is on 90. Adding power now. Very good look of the strip. I'll maintain the carburetor heats until the very end. I'm barely adding power here. Oh man, this looks very nice. And we're stable, gear is down, flaps are full. Before landing checks complete. Ah man, this is lovely. All temperatures are looking good. Stabilized on final. And look at the amount of trees there. Wow. JTP's plane spotting. I'm feeling the pressure already. Speed slightly below 85. Let's go pick that up. Just pull the nose down a little bit. Let the airplane gain that speed. Maintain center line. That's important. And slowly pull the power back. Touchdown. Flaps up. Props full forward. ML, why are you up in the air? Open the cowling flaps. ML, I understand you have special powers, but wow. Welcome to Fort Providence. Cowling flaps are open, props are full forward. And I'm gonna try to maybe park in the middle of you both. That is gonna be a little bit different. That's why I'm doing it from the outside. Let's go transponder off. Landing light off. Pitot heat off. forgot to switch on the fuel pumps. I see Wild A320 in its back wheels. Why are you with Air Bilbao? Emil, just change to Buffalo, please. I will be able to see you as Buffalo too. That'd be very cool. Now do some tail wheel. I'm gonna clip the wing. Or rip that pole. Rip my wing. Yeah, I need to practice slightly more taxiing this plane. Alright, now I'm gonna do it like this. A bit more. Okay, I'm not clipping wings of TP. Brakes are set. Taxi lights are off. Throttle to 1000 RPM, that is set. And let's go, anti-collision off. Radio master off, inverter off. I can actually leave this. Fuel pumps off. Let's switch off the gens and get the engines. Oh man, I really enjoy the sound of this. Switch off the magnetos, beacon light off. Leave it on a battery. I could close the cowling flaps, or at least leave them on trail, like that. Let's go open the doors. You know what, I'm going to switch off the nav lights as well, so we don't burn any battery. And, actually never mind, we need the battery. We need the battery. So, oh, Valenta, please don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Minus 151 for the first leg, looks good. Let's continue. So, perfect. We departed, let's see. Let's come here to the load of the plane, weight and balance. So we departed with 1,150 and we right now have 957. So we have burned 193 kilos of fuel. We were expecting to burn 217 kilos. So we have burned 24 kilos less. That's great. 24 kilos less. That is good. Maybe because the plane was empty. I don't know. And now I need to add the weight, 1,800 kilos. We have 957 kilos on board. That's above the required block fuel for the next leg. So that's very good. And I'm going to apply the changes. Now the plane is loaded. And we can follow. Alex, of course, thank you for reminding. So you come here to the main settings. You come to general. I think that's the general. And let me find that. Actually, it's in graphics, and you come here, it's the first option, draw parked aircraft. Now, this will be drawing default airplanes of X-plane, but you need to pay attention because you have some sceneries that might be default that still might have some static airplanes somewhere. Usually, for instance, like we had today in Yellowknife, those airplanes right there, they were static. And it's from X-plane, and I think it's just part of the scenery, which is annoying. Now you have some sceneries which you download that might have custom static aircraft. Sometimes they have two versions, one with static aircraft, the other one without. So make sure that you have this option here disabled. Alright, let's continue, guys. Let's turn on the radio master and the inverter, not the inverter, just the radio master. Let's come here to the flight plan, put the next leg in. Next leg is Hay River. It's Charlie Yankee Hotel Yankee. Hay River, that is correct. Alex, you're welcome. I hope it helps you out. ShTP, I bought Vienna scenery with static and I just removed the folder with static aircrafts. Yeah, that works too. There goes Emil on the departure. Now I can see you on the ground firmly, which is great. And I'm going to be closing doors. I'm going to be moving on. I'm going to let Emil depart first. Engines should still be pretty warm. And yes, they are, which is great. Let me turn on the transponder actually. Let's turn on the magnetos. Wait for the rest of the stuff. And let's just analyze very quickly what do we have for the next flight. So the next flight is going to be shorter. So regarding the departure, we're going to depart runway 14. We have 600 feet above sea level, approximately 0.2 nautical mile past departure and runway 150 feet left and right of runway center line. So basically trees. That's the only thing we need to be aware of. And the departure is going to be very simple. So literally straight ahead and straight ahead. Basically fly the entire river. This flight should be interesting until Hay River. Now in Hay River, what do we have regarding of weather? Basically the same. We could land straight in on this longer runway. And then taxi to Alpha and to the ramp. We have a gravel runway right here, and we have an asphalt runway. But because we are Buffalo and we need to save as much fuel as we can, we're going to go straight in for runway 14 again. That sounds good. Let's go. Clear props in chat, guys. Clear props in chat. Let's go. Magnetos are on. Fuel pumps, actually not required now. Let's go. Nav beacon lights on. Mixture full forward. Prime number 2. And I can prime number 1 as well already. Let's go. The engines are primed. Outside view start. How about that, guys? One more outside view start. Let's do it. Starting 2. Oh boy, I thought that engine would quit. That's a good start. Let's go for number 1. Yeah, that's a good start. Have good power. 1000 RPM, let's go. Gens on, fuel pumps on. Taxi light on. Anti-collision inverter. Transponder is already on. How are we looking on temps? All fine. Carburetor heat off. I left it on. Cowling flaps fully open. Well, temperature is good. Alright, now we need to wait for Emil to depart. What altitude? Whichever you want. I will go probably like 4,500 or 3,500. Not very high. And I'm thinking about flaps departure. And there goes Emil. Oh man, that looks very nice. Alright, let's go. Brakes released. Landing lights on. Clear on the left. Clear on the right. ShTP is going to depart last. We need to finish our magneto check. I'm going to finish that on the runway. Oh, and sorry, by the way, Cooler, I missed a couple of messages. When I wrote the DC-3, they were... No, never mind, I need to read. Crash Flyer, how do you handle the taxi on this? This is a combination of rudder pedals and toe brakes, literally, just as Cooler said. An asymmetric throttle. Oh yeah, because the back wheel is a caster. It's a free wheel. Cooler, when I rode the DC-3, they were touring the Normandy beaches. It was the day before D-Day, so most people were there for the World War II tourism. Oh man, that's probably really nice. I know that this year they made some, they crossed the channel a couple of times, I think. And they brought some veterans with them, which is very cool. Okay, now let's try and do a nice lineup here. Because I messed up slightly. Alright, this looks good. Let's set parking brake. Switch off the lights for a moment. Temps are good. Yep, let's do a run up. We want 2000 RPM. Very quick run up. That is good. I see the drop. I see the recovery. I see the drop. I see the recovery. There's the drop. There's the recovery. There's the drop. There's the recovery. Let's do carb heat. On, there's the drop. The recovery. Throttle to idle. Lights on. Carb heat on. Enough. Looking good. Overhead is all checked. Pumps are on. That is good. Let's do a quick before takeoff check. Altimeter set. Mixtures are rich. Lights on. Boost pumps on. Flaps set. Heat off. We're good. Let's go, guys. Takeoff config is checked. JTP A320 departing on 3,000 feet runway. Oh man, you gotta fix that. You need to fix that. Let's pull up. 42 inches. And brakes off. I love this sound. Manifold pressure is dropping a little bit. We need to keep adding. There we go. There comes the tail. Airspeed is alive. '85. Rotate. Positive climb. Gear up. And we cleared the trees. Beautiful. What a lovely departure. Absolutely feels heavy. Lights off. Let's keep ourselves accelerating. And I'm gonna literally follow the river. Right, decrease a little bit the manifold pressure. Let's reduce the props. 2,300. Cowling flaps to trail. Set. Get the speed going. Just at a track of 101. Great stuff. Second leg, guys. Second leg. Yeah, it's looking lovely. TP should be departing any moment. Yeah, there he is on the runway. Let me redirect ourselves to Hay River. 099 is our track. Need to turn left, slightly more. There we go, 099. Passing 3,000 feet. All looking sweet. Sun is slowly, I think, sun is slowly starting to hit the plane, which is cool. So far I'm liking it. Speed is good. Switch off the fuel pumps. Pressure is good. Temps are all fine. It's good stuff. Should be catching a tailwind now. "25 minutes to go." And decreasing. I'm trying to maintain myself on the needle on this flight slightly more than on the flight before. Also, I think we have a VOR in Hay River. Yeah, 113.9, so why don't we set that up? Just for that case, if we lose everything. There's the needle. See? Arrow is pointing straight ahead. That means we're flying to the VOR, which is very good. Flying to where we should. Temps and pressures are looking good. Past 4,000 feet. We're going to level off at 4,500 feet again. And the scenery is quite interesting, I must say. I mean, this one, regarding the river. So, this flight's gonna be shorter, and you guys need to vote what is gonna be the load for third leg. And the weights are the following. Just created a poll. ML error secret overload. No, I don't think so. Not for this flight. Oh, we just passed 4,500. Let's level off. Let's use that extra bit of altitude that we have to increase our speed. I'll just decrease slightly the manifold. Pull the props back. To 2,000. There we go. Close the cowling flaps. Set manifold to 32. And last thing we require is to lean the mixture. There we go. Nice and set into the cruise. Lovely. This is quite lovely. Lights are fine, it's not raining, so I'm not going to switch on the pitot heat. Don't think we require it right now. Fuel pumps are fine. Temps and pressures are all looking good. Great stuff, guys. Look at us go. Man, I love how the light reflects on the wings. It's just so nice. I think the only thing is it's too shiny. I'm not sure the real thing is like this. Sync Rush Flyer to number 7. Vlad, have you ever thought about having your own Discord channel? Yeah, I thought about it, but maybe not for now. Oh, by the way, I'm returning my new guitar. It came defected, unfortunately. Oh, why? What came in defected? What's the problem? Look, ShayTP's already passed us. Should be able to see him. Oh, there he is. Look at him go. Man, you are quick on that new turboprop. No problem, Sync Rush Flyer. I thought about it, but I think right now, I would prefer to just use the YouTube community tab, and maybe use the Discord for later. I don't know. There's a special system called Tremolo. Yeah, Tremolo. The thread and bar where it is defected. Ah, that's annoying, man. Well, that's alright, you can at least return it and get a new one. Get my money back and buy something else here in Slovakia. Okay. Is that a better option? Or do you think you'll get a better option? Reduce the manifold to 32, like that. Felt like I was adding a bit too much power. I don't know, we'll see. Okay. So, one thing I didn't do, I didn't check the fuel. We had, no, I checked. Okay, we burned 193. That means we had 957 when we landed. Because we need to keep checking the fuel. ShayTP, are we landing runway 14? Yep, I am planning for it. I'm planning for runway 14 right now. I haven't touched the controls for the past 30 seconds probably. This is what I really like about this plane, and honestly almost any plane. If you trim it properly and you fly it how it is supposed to be flown, man, it's just does the job for you, and that's so cool. Just gave it one click of trim, nose up. Looks like it has a slight tendency of going down. And we are going to be doing a mini brief once again. So Fort Providence was pretty cool. Next one is Hay River. This one is not going to be as crazy as was Fort Providence. So here's the airfield. Planning to land on runway 14, vacate on Alpha to the ramp. We could check what we have here for runway 14. Actually, it should be for 32. Yeah, we could catch some trees again, right there. And my suggestion would be to fly visual approach straight in again, because this one is fairly easy once again. I mean, all of these flights are going to be fairly easy regarding the approaches, because they are located close to the coast and very easy for visual references, so we can definitely see that we have some river coming here, and we can line up ourselves with that river. So that is actually a good thing. And I'm gonna do the standard full flaps landing, 85 as a final approach speed. Basically that's it. That's me for the mini brief. Any questions from the fellow crew members of the channel? No, I like it. I really like this. And we will be absolutely returning to Yellowknife and on the DC-3, but during the winter. We have to fly here with snow. Just imagine seeing all of this covered with snow. It'd be so much nicer. So yeah, that I have an idea to do that. Also, 737-200, when it comes out, it will have the gravel kit. It's already confirmed by FlyJSim. I am still waiting for that airplane, and we're gonna be flying some gravel runways on the jet airplane. So that will be very cool. JTP, do not cause any traffic jam. I will hold on final. Okay, I am still 10 minutes away, so if you have the possibility, you can land. Emil is flying straight ahead. You're literally on the middle, so probably you can... I'm pretty sure that you can come in after Emil lands. Just coordinate it. JTP, I love FlyJSim. Yeah, I think they do a great job. I'm just really waiting for their 737-200, because I don't know, I think that's such a cool plane, and they're just, I don't know, you can fly that plane like a Cessna. The amount of things that you need to think about, from power settings to weight and balance to optimum cruise level to fuel burn to I don't know, you don't have an auto throttle, so you have cruise power settings as well for your fuel consumption, and I think that's so nice. It makes you proficient, and for instance, I'm kind of pissed because you have the Flight Factor 777 coming out soon, I guess, but I mean, it's in alpha or beta or whatever. And there are so many people saying that, oh, it's bad because it doesn't have VNAV and all that stuff, and I know that the real 777 has VNAV, and that it should have it and all that stuff, yes, but because a plane doesn't have VNAV doesn't mean it's bad or something. And there's a lot of people who don't know how to fly the plane, and they don't care about learning something else, and that sometimes saddens me. Not because the people don't want to learn. If they don't want to learn, then they it's their choice basically. But then don't say it's something bad. Don't crap on it. And so I think the 732 is such a great airplane because of that. And they're doing the GPS version as well with all of that. I think it's Honeywell FMS that they have the upgraded avionics and all that stuff. And it looks like it has holds and all that stuff as well, so that is pretty cool. So we will be able to fly some very cool flights with it. And I know a long time ago I promised to do a milk run on a 732 with the VORs only, without GPS completely. So that will come. And we already did once the milk run on this channel. 6 hours I think it took. It was very, very cool. I really love that stream. And I think we departed from Seattle. We came to, what was the first stop? The first stop was an airport with this, that has a taxiway with a slope. Basically, the runway is located above the ramp. Oh, I'm missing the name. Is it Ketchikan? I think so. Then we went to Wrangell. Then we went to Petersburg. Then we went to Juneau, and from Juneau we went to Anchorage. So that's one of the possibilities of doing a milk run. But there are other stops that we can do. We can come, I think, from Seattle direct to Juneau, and then from Juneau we fly to Sitka, then to Cordoba, and I think I'm missing one more spot. Ah, Yakutat, exactly. And basically, yeah, that's the flight I would be doing, because we didn't come to those places. Sitka is amazing. I've landed there before, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, doing that flight on 732, it will be a lot harder, but at the same time so much nicer. That, yeah, I don't know. Crash Flyer, is there a release date now? I don't know. I don't think so. They have gone under the radar for a while now, and I'm really waiting for it. Now I'm really waiting for it. Also, we got 14 miles to go. I can literally see the river that I spoke about, and if I zoom enough, I can see the runway. Yeah, that's the runway. So very good. Shay TP is doing a hold. Emil is doing... I don't know what is he doing. I'll be going for runway 14. We could land actually on the gravel as well. How about we land on the gravel? We overfly, we do something like Emil is doing, and then we join the left downwind and land on the gravel. Yeah, let's try that. Shay TP, if you want to come in to land, I don't think Emil is landing on the asphalt runway. I think he's going for the gravel one. You can come to land, so we're probably very sure that we are not going to be crossing each other. So I'm going to be flying now direct to the airfield, because I was positioning myself a bit to the left so we could have some space to land. But right now I'm going to go for a downwind. Actually, let's do a right downwind. Runway, what's the runway? What's the number of the runway? It's 23. Runway 23. Let's start descending. I'm going to decrease the manifold pressure. Do a couple of clicks of trim down. Temperatures are all good. I could set carburetor heat on, but it's still holding above zero, so let's maintain that. Switch on the lights. And let's switch on the fuel pumps. Critical stage of the flight. Hot Start is making an 8220. I'm totally buying it. Hot Start. Are those the guys who made the TBM? A very good TBM. An 8220 is something very interesting as well. A completely new plane to learn. Oh man, if they do a good A220, I'm gonna buy it too, because that's one more interesting plane to fly. Alright, I think Shay TP is lining up for the runway. Maybe? Also, the elevation A River is around 536, so same altitude for us, 1,500. I'm gonna consider that as circuit altitude. So far, so good. Alright, we are hitting the 0 there. Let's turn on the carburetor heat. I wonder, can I see ShyTP? Probably a bit far away. But I consider runway fairly nice. And Emil has landed, I guess. Okay, river traffic, Buffalo 311 is going to join right downwind for runway 23. They made Challenger 650. It's $120. Ah, yes, I know, but that Challenger is like the best simulated plane ever done or something. Like, it's really good. Alright, we consider airfields, we consider runways. I consider runways. There's the gravel strip where we will be landing. So I will be starting to turn left now, as we are approaching 2,000 feet. Maintaining good speed. Looking great. Start to decrease the speed very slowly. So to go a little bit to the left. Like that. Now some instrument flying, because we don't have a visual reference. Let's add a bit of power from the airplane. Alright, let's slow down even more. Let's start turning base. Hey, river traffic, Buffalo 311, turning base for runway 23. Hey, river. Let's go. Decrease that throttle. Skip the turn. Slowly descend myself to 1,000 feet. Looking good. Maybe a bit low. That's fine. Let's tighten the turn. Where's the runway? There's the runway. Slight overshoot. That's fine. Let's go gear down. Flaps 1/2. And flaps full. I'll leave the carb on. Trims 85 for the speed. Hey, river traffic, Buffalo 311 on final runway 23. Props are good, rest is fine. Landing checks complete. Speed a bit low. Let's go for 85. There we go. 85 stable. Looking lovely. Now slowly pull the power back. And that's a touchdown. Flaps up. Props forward. Open the cowling flaps. I have to open a little bit here to the right. Bit of toe brakes. Let's taxi where Emil is. Shay TP, I think that was Shay TP on approach, yeah. Nice stuff. Fuel pumps off. Landing light off. Temps are good, carburetor heat off. Transponder can go off. Emil has already the engine started. It's probably ready to go. Okay, let's try to go here. Not clip the wing. And now let's turn around. Perfect. Brakes are set, taxi light off, anti-collision off, inverter radio master off, generators off, cut the power. Wait for the engines to stop. Mags off, beacon lights off. Welcome to Hay River. Let's open the doors. And I need to come to Volanta. Diversion detected. Set as new destination. No. Alright, this landing was minus 28. That was quite good. Minus 28 on this landing. Wow. Shay TP, how did your landing go? Shay TP is backtracking right now. Very good. And I will be checking up the fuel and all that stuff. Ah, man, look at this. It's like a photo. All right, so let's go here. Third leg, finishing the vote. And next load is 2,300 kilos. Looks like we are picking up the load. So let's do just that. 2,300 kilos. Set. And now we landed with 842 kilos. We departed with 957, now minus 842. We burned 115 kilos on this flight. So we were supposed to burn 124. And we didn't take the most optimum runway, so that's very good. We burned 9 kilos less than we were supposed. So we are already about 30 kilos Less than we should burn. That's very good. That's actually very good. Alright, 2,300 is set. The rest of the fuel is fine. We've loaded the plane even more. And Shay TP is coming to us. We are gonna be starting soon. Shay TP, actually, you know what? If you want, you can even not switch off the engines. You can just wait for us. Alright. We're going to be switching on the engines, on the other hand. So battery is already on. We already have plenty of battery. Beacon light is on. Mags are coming on. Mixtures are full forward. Cowling flaps are open. Let's do priming on the right. That is set. Priming on the left. That is set. And now, guys, do you want a start from the outside or from the inside? Tell me, please. You know it. Let's do it from the outside, of course. Close the doors. Let's do it like this. This should be a very nice picture. Starting the engines. And starting one... Correction. Starting two first. Clear. Prop. Oh man, I need to add power for it. That's a good start. Starting one. Yeah. We got a good start in both engines. Let's go, gens on, fuel pumps on. Rest is good. There goes Emil. And I'll come here. And I will add our next destination. Next destination is Port Resolution. Charlie Foxtrot. And... no, correction. Charlie Yankee. Foxtrot Yankee. No, Romeo. There we go. First resolution, that is accepted and inserted. All the temps are good. All the temps are fine. Let's go. Taxi light on. Emil, are you going to depart to that side there? Are you sure? Okay. Okay, Emil is doing something, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna observe a DC-3 crash. No. Are you using full flaps? No, I think it should be fine, especially if the plane is light. Alright, you are airborne. Just don't stall the bloody plane. And it looks like it has an animation for gear up. They can ride on dirt anyways. Yeah. Man, but were you slow rotating? Alright, brakes released. I'm gonna go strobe lights on, which they are already. Sorry, Marshall, we're not going there. Anti-collision on. We're gonna depart the gravel runway. Shay TP, if you wanna go ahead and taxi to the tarmac runway, you can do it just now while I backtrack this runway. You're gonna have enough free runway to go. Emil, what's your payload? Were your plane empty? Okay, the QNH is good. 500 feet. That is correct. So it should be 541. Let's do it like this. 1,300. Okay. And full fuel. So you have plenty of fuel then. Okay. It's actually interesting to know. Let's see, ShayTP, are you gonna backtrack? Or are you gonna go for the tarmac runway, ShayTP? Let's go, leg number 3. Turn around. Do some differential braking. Alright, GTP is gonna taxi, so that is excellent. Set the brakes. We're gonna do the run-up right now. Temps are all good. So let's go 2000 RPM. You need 5,000 feet. Okay, yeah, you need the outer runway. That's 2000 RPM, let's go. Magneto check, there's the drop. There's the recovery. There's the drop. There's the recovery, outer mag. There's the drop. There's the recovery. And left mag. Dropped. And recovered. Let's check carburetor heat on. Off. Perfect. Throttle to idle. Make sure that the engine doesn't quit. Carb on. Carb off. Looking good. Throttles to 1000 RPM. Lights are on. This is all checked. This is all done. You guys are ready? I'm ready. Let's wait for ShayTP to leave the runway, and we're gonna go off. He's gonna catch us anyway. Oh boy. What did happen here? With the vacuum. How did I break it? How did I manage to break the, Okay, I guess we got a broke instrument. By me. Anyways, let's go. Brakes released. Hey, river traffic, Buffalo 311 departing runway 23. Apply the power. Let's go. Ah, it's coming back. Ah, maybe it's not enough suction. Alright. Power is set. Lift the tail. Oh man, we are heavy. I can feel it. Airspeed is alive. Oh boy, we are very heavy. 85. Rotate. Should be able to see ShayTP. There he is. Positive climb, gear up. Let's do a flyby. Lovely. Okay, I'm gonna turn by the right. So I don't mess up with the departure. Or ShayTP. Lights off. Reduce manifold pressure slightly. Let's go props 2300. Calling flaps to trail. I still think the instrument is a little bit broken. Fuel pumps off. And 36 on the climb out. Course should be 054. Should be able to see. There he goes, ShayTP. Animal has already departed. So 054. Let's do 060 to intercept the course. Flying into the sun. But very nice. Oh no, it's working now. Okay. Okay, trimmed it properly. Accelerating nicely. Temps are good. At least the heading is not changing right now. Third leg, guys. Yeah, look at that. That's turboprop power. Look, he's already in our altitude. Oh my god, you're climbing like a rocket. I actually like to fly these old planes and small planes exactly because of that. Because you're gonna come into a jet, and when you climb with that 3,000 or 4,000 feet climb rate, you can feel the power. At least you can imagine, because you're not flying a real plane right here in the sim. But it's really cool to understand that, because you fly this DC-3, the Cessnas and all that stuff, and the climb rate is like 1,000 feet or something, and then all of a sudden you add power like 200 knots, you're climbing 3,000 feet a minute. That is so cool. Okay, all temps and pressures are looking good. Basically, the scan I do is literally this, 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 and this. And you could check the position of the cowling flaps right here. They are in trail, which is like middle, 50-50. And the cowling flaps, if you don't know where they are literally these things here. So let me show you from the outside. I'm going to move them a little bit. Pay attention to this part right here around the engines. And look, I'm closing them, and I'm opening them. That's your cowling flaps right there. Now I want to put them in trail. And if you are questioning, do they affect drag? Yes, they do. And that's simulated, which is pretty awesome, I have to say. Also, this livery fits very well with the color scheme which we have right now in terms of lighting. Right, we're catching the needle, drifting a little bit to the right. Let's correct that to the left. Cooler, everything affects drag, honestly. Yes, probably what I wanted to mean is it is simulated in X-Plane. That's what I wanted to say. So it is simulated in X-Plane, because it could not be simulated. For instance, if a wingtip is an object, it's a 3D object or something, and it's not part of the or at least I heard from some developer once regarding wingtips. If a wingtip is not part of the airfoil or something like that, it doesn't affect, but the cowling flaps, they do affect, which is really nice. Oh yes, I got it, but still amazing how every little thing can affect aerodynamics. Yeah, that's true. Literally washing the plane can affect it. If your airplane is dirty, that's enough to affect drag, because it's full of dust and bugs and all that stuff, and that's already affecting the way it flies. Remember an MD-80 pilot saying they deployed the flights to reduce a few knots. Yep, that's the same thing. The Chinese or Italian speed brakes on the Airbus, the landing lights of the Airbus family, the old ones, not the LED new ones, which are blended into the wing, but the old ones that are retractable, they were called the Italian or the Chinese speed brakes for the very same reason. I need to butter this one. My last two landings were on average 400 feet per minute. Huh, you know what? I probably know why you are landing like that. Because you're probably landing the turboprop like it's a jet airplane. And the turboprop, because it has a propeller, when you reduce the power or the torque, probably you're flying by torque, it increases so much the drag because of the propeller. So on the turboprops, you don't really put the throttles to idle until the very, very last moment when you're thinking that you're gonna touch down right now, and then you put it to idle. So try to maybe maintain the torque a little bit more, or maybe just delay the instead of just putting it to idle, just do it very, very, very slowly. And there's 100 to level off. Start to pull the nose down very slowly. Leveling off. Decrease the manifold pressure. Increase the prop correction, the RPM to 2000. Close the cowling flaps. Let's do mixture. There we go, mixture is good. Now let's trim the airplane, because it will be accelerating now. I want to go 32 on the manifold. So I need to create a vote for the final leg of today's stream. Hope you guys are enjoying this DC-3 flight, and I hope you have learned something regarding carburetors, venturi tubes, carburetor icing, DC-3 operations. What else did we speak about? Fuel planning, all that stuff. Sim brief profile is actually very good for the DC-3. I mean, giving a trip fuel within like 10 kilos is very good. Alright, it's trimmed. I think it's maintaining the attitude. Maybe one more click nose down. I'm not touching the controls. Alright, so let's count this in. Let me correct it one time. And I'm not touching the controls. So let's see how long the airplane will maintain this attitude without me interfering. I'm not touching controls. I'm gonna display the yoke so you guys can see that I'm not touching anything. It's still flying on itself. Actually, let me check the outside. That's looking nice. This is a huge lake. Okay, I'm not touching the controls still. It's flying on itself. Super stable airplane. And I'm last in line probably. Yeah, ShayTP is already catching up with Emil. ShayTP, I think you can land first there. And then Emil will land, and then probably me will land. I still haven't touched the controls. I don't know how much time already passed, but this is pretty cool. Because we're flying over the water as well, the air is more smooth. We don't have so much interference. Okay, I think it's starting to bank very slightly to the left. I'm gonna leave it as is for now. And it's climbing very slowly, but it's climbing like very, very slowly. I haven't touched anything yet. Alright, so we have reached 100 feet above. I'm gonna touch the controls and we are banking to the left. So I'm gonna correct it to the right and do one click of trim nose down and do it a little push like this. and leave it again. Autopiloting up, no problems. That's still climbing now. Alright, I'm gonna take control. Remove the yoke. Let's correct a little bit to right. Because the track is 055, we're flying 050. I need to correct that. There we go, that's better. The needle is centered, so don't climb. Don't climb. 40 minutes. So let's check out, do the mini brief for Fort Resolution. This one is going to be probably... Actually, this is not the most difficult. I think the most difficult was the first one, the Fort Providence. But yeah, let's do a quick check on what are we expecting. So, starting from Sky Vector, we're flying here over the lake, and the visual references are very easy because we're going to have this piece of land sticking out. So basically we can immediately put ourselves probably either on this side or on this side to make the approach. Now the runway, we have a gravel runway, 13 and 31, elevation is 520, so roughly the same. We have a displaced threshold for runway 31 in case we're going to go for runway 31. That's important because we cannot land on the displaced threshold, so we need to remember that. And the ramp is at the very end, so we will need to pay attention if AML or SHATP are still on the runway to make sure that the runway is completely clear. Regarding what's the word I'm missing? Obstacles. We got some trees and we have a church. So we have a building. I'm not sure it's going to be simulated or not, but better to have that in mind at the end of runway 31. So in this case right here, because it's for the departure, but we can read this and have an idea anyways for the obstacles. In case of runway 31, so in case we go for runway 13, we have trees basically from both sides of the center line. It's pretty cool. Variation is 17 east, for instance. So that's important. For example, if we would have a METAR for this airport and the wind would be like, I don't know, 230, let's say. If a variation is east, then we would have to adjust the direction of the wind to the left, so minus 17, so that would be 230 minus 17, that would be 213. So the wind actually would be going from 213, and that's important to remember and to have in mind. Okay, that's about correct, and that's the mini brief complete. We are continuing onwards. SHATP has passed AML. AML is catching up. Wind here is looking to go for runway 13. So we're going to position ourselves as soon as we see that piece of land sticking out. We're going to position ourselves to the left of that piece of land. And that is actually very good because we will not have this sun in front of us. Because this is a little bit annoying to land with the sun in front of us. But yeah, 11 minutes, looking good. Ground speed is 159. So far, so good. Oh, I have to create the next vote, of course. Load for final leg. I'm gonna go empty. I'm gonna go 2000. 1,500. And let's go 700. Create. It's time for you to vote. Slightly off course. Let's bring it back on course. We're drifting to the right. Let's go for a heading of 050. And we're gonna definitely need to come back here during the winter, and I will have to find a way to install maybe some sceneries of some very isolated gravel runways, you know, somewhere, maybe such runways that not even X-Plane has them, and we would like literally need to land in the middle of nowhere. That's probably very cool. I like that the flight gear DC-3 allowed you to deploy paratroopers. Really? Wow, that's something very cool. See, that's a cool sim. I don't understand why everybody hates it. I think it's fantastic. It's great to start. It's freeware. You can learn all the basics. You can learn how to control an airplane, how to trim an airplane, what's the effect of flaps, how it is to fly in low speed. You can learn the stall. You can learn to land, to take off, to maintain altitude, turns. You have VOR navigation, you have NDBs, you have ILS, you have basic GPS. What else do you need? Like, okay, the graphics are not very good, but the rest, it's literally everything there. Color. People hate it because they hate anything without the photorealistic scenery. Well, I guess you're right. That makes me very sad. But, yeah. I don't know. I like that sim. I think we need to fly in flight gear. I think we need to do a stream on flight gear. It's not all about graphics. Oh yeah. Oh, you know what I was watching the other day? I was watching V1's simulation stream on the 727. The one where he crashed the plane on takeoff 4 times, I think, or 3 times. That was so much fun. I love him. I love him for that, because he can teach us so much regarding the real life stuff, and then there are just moments where it's pure fun, and I don't know, I think it's great. And the approach, I don't remember where was he landing, but I was looking at the replay of the landing, and when he went into the wing view, the terrain, like the definition of the terrain is so cool, and I mean, I envy Microsoft that's definition of terrain, but once I saw how he landed, like the physics on the flare and the bounce and all that stuff, it's just like, oh god, that's so terrible. No, I prefer my airplane to perform about right than having the amazing scenery and just, I don't know, just very bad physics. Like literally, that was very bad physics. Alright. I think I can barely see that, but that's the piece of land sticking out. Not so sure. The sun is not helping very much, so we might need to do a overfly to actually see the runway, because I will not be able to position myself very good from this viewpoint. Yeah. And also, yesterday I hopped into X-Plane 11, and Jesus Christ, X-Plane 12 in terms of graphics is so much better. I couldn't believe, but it is. It's looking lovely. Yeah, by the way, I haven't touched the controls for a while again, which is good. We have 5 minutes to go. Let's start down. Maybe that will help us. Slightly to the left, of course. I can't understand if that's the piece of land that should be sticking out or not. I'm gonna find out. Flying VFR. Alright, let's go to decrease the manifold pressure. Mixture can go full forward. Cowling flaps are closed. And I can switch on the fuel pumps. Let the airplane accelerate slightly with the descent and keep it going down. Right, let's see what's the situation there. So Emil has... No, never mind. GTP has landed. Emil is doing his approach. Very good. Alright, that's probably the piece of land sticking out. Actually, yes, it is. I mean, it's literally what we see on the map. So I'm gonna point myself to this area right here. Airfield should be right there. And that's gonna be our plan. Elevation is the same, so I'm aiming for the same 1,500 feet of circuit altitude. QNH is 1018. That converted to inches of mercury is 3006. So let's do just that. That is set. Airspeed is good. Okay. By the way, guys, how is the sound balance? Does it sound good? Can you hear me fine? Is the plane too loud? Should I put the plane slightly lower on a lower volume? Let's put carburetor heat on as well. It's way too close to zero. Alright, that is good. Let's fly straight, like this. Which is perfect. Thank you very much, Emil. Plane is a little bit quiet. Huh. How about this? Is it better like this? Tell me if it's better like this. Right, past 2,000 feet. Kinda got down earlier than I wanted. Let's add a bit of manifold pressure. 25. Keep going. It's good now. Sim crash fire. Thank you for telling me. Right, we're 5 miles out. Approaching 1,500 feet. Oh boy, I don't see the runway. It's gonna be fun. Let's switch on the taxi and landing lights already. And leveling off. Let's go for 30 manifold pressure. Plane should level off by itself. Perfect. Now let's keep flying. Straight ahead. Don't want to go below 1,500. It's a DC-3, you should have to shout for us to hear you. Okay. My neighbors are not gonna find that funny. I will, but my neighbors not. Alright. Oh, that's the strip. Probably. Yeah, that's the strip. Let's slow down. Throttle to idle. That's the carburetor temp just so above 0. There's the speed going out. Yeah, that's the strip. Port resolution traffic, Buffalo 311 on base turn, runway 13. Gear down. Flaps 1/2. Mixture is full forward. Oh, nice. I can see very well now. Put ourselves in a good position. And flaps full. Passengers, please return to your seats for landing. I found the strip, I think. Brilliant. It's very good. Okay, let's maintain 90 knots into turn. Very slight turn. Slightly high. Oh, we've got tappies here. Oh, such a modern thing. Gear is down. Flaps are set. Mixture is full forward. Cowling flaps are closed. Landing checks complete. 2 whites to reds. Look at this. Fantastic. Now I just want 85 knots for the final. For the resolution traffic, Buffalo 311 on final running 13. Oh man, this is quite nice. I like this. There's 85. Airplane is properly trimmed. Oh, what a beautiful approach this was. Nice and long runway. TP, how was your landing? I'm gonna guess minus 225. And slowly pull the power back. Oh boy, that was a bad one for me. I bounced. There we go. Flaps up. Props forward. I guess I should have focused on my landing instead of guessing landing rates. Cowling flaps open. Fuel pumps off. Landing lights off. See, I put my throttle to idle too early as well. 310. Ah, that was better. Carb heat can go to off. Oh wait, wasn't TP here? I was pretty sure I just saw Q400 and he disappeared. Alright, I'm gonna stop like this. Hope ML doesn't hit me. Set the parking brake. Let's go taxi light off. Radio master inverter off. Anti-collision off. Transponder, well, it was already off. Let's put the gens off. Put the power. Ah, you disconnected. Alright. Okay, wait for the props to stop. Rate mags off. Beacon light off. And that is good. Alright, final leg. Final leg, guys. Did we just hit 100% of the votes on 2,000 kilos? Yes, we did. Will this be enough? What do you mean? Oh boy. No, Emil, that's not gonna be enough. Okay, so let's go on to the outside. Let's open the doors. Cargo doors, of course. Let's come here to the plane. Weight and balance. Let's do 2,000 kilos. That's going to be our final load into Yellowknife. Oh, by the way, I need to come to Valenta. No. Alright, this landing was crap. I bounced. Minus 230. But the approach was very nice. Okay, we continue onwards. So I've set the load at 2,000. And we need to check the fuel. So we landed with 719 kilos of fuel. So we departed with 842 minus 719. That's 123. We actually burnt more fuel on this leg for some reason than what SimBrief gave us, because SimBrief gave us 96 kilos. But we've burned 123. That's not too bad, because with all the calculations, we are on our final leg. We have 790 kilos, and we require a block fuel of 564. So 719 minus 564. I literally am sitting here with a calculator, by the way. It's minus one. It's 155. So we have 155 kilos more than what we require, which is fantastic. All right, Emil is going to do a low pass. Are you back? What? Did you just push back? I saw that. Emil is going to do a low pass. Okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to close doors. And we're going to get going. Oh, there you go. ShayTP is back. Great stuff. Let's go beacon light on. Magnetos on. We need some clear props in chat. And we need some priming of the engines. That is enough. Prime the left one. And it's gonna be time to start. Where's the clear prop, guys? We need the clear prop. Clear props in chat. There we go, clear prop. Starting. Let's start number 1 for this one. And I started 2. There we go, started 2. Starting 1. Excellent. Great start in both engines. Go to 1000 RPM. Let's go gens on, fuel pumps on. Inverter, radio master. Taxi light. Let's very quickly come here to the flight plan. Set Yellowknife. It's Zulu Foxtrot. That is set. What is the course? 330. Let's set that. Taxi light on. Let's see, where's Emil? Did he depart? Looks like so. Yep. There he is. Let's go, brakes released. I mean, the wind is so light, I can take the tailwind. I'm gonna take the tailwind. Emil, you said you will not do a low pass. Come on. Wait, are you gonna do a low pass now? I thought you would be doing a low pass like a second circuit. Ah, boy, sorry. Alright, let's do transponder. Strobes. We'll take the tailwind. Runway's long enough. We can do it, and we're slightly lighter. Gonna do a run up right here. And get ourselves going for Yellowknife for the final leg. Alright, brakes set. Let's go to 1000 RPM. There's a very slight drop. Recovered. That's the drop. And it recovered. There's the drop. Recovery. There is the drop. And there is the recovery. Let's do carburetor heat on. Looking good. Off. Throttles to idle. Carb heat on. And off. Looking good, guys. We are ready. Let's go. All the lights on. All the rest is good. Are you guys ready? We've got some takeoff OKs. SHATPs on our back. Let's pull up to 2000 RPM. Takeoff power 42 inches. What a lovely sound. Airspeed is alive. There comes the tail. And 85, rotate. Positive climb, gear up. I feel like we're pitching too high. That was close to stalling. That was quite close to stalling. I guess I didn't reset the trim properly. Lights off. Course 330. Off we go. But that was a nice departure. Let's do it again. I love it. Alright, let's maintain 340 for now to intercept the heading. Decreased manifold. Props to 2300. Set. Cowling flaps to trail. Whoa, 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 not the mixture. Wanted cowling flaps. There we go. And now we need to maintain 330. Manifold to 36. There we go, 330 set. Speed is good. And we can disengage the fuel pumps. Temps and pressure is all on the green. Looking good. Need to maintain 330. Slightly left, of course. Just like that. Perfect. How about try to climb slightly higher on this flight? Maybe like 5.5 or 6.5 or maybe even higher. What do you guys think? Should we do it? Let's try. We were flying the entire time at 400, correction, 400, Jesus, 4,500. Brain fart, that was a brain fart. So I'm super happy that we got the fuel calculations correct. I'm so looking forward for the 737-200 flights. That would be so nice. Mike, how are you? You are in time for the final leg to Yellowknife from Fort Resolution. You need to join us on a DC-3 too. Yeah, it's actually looking very good, the scenery right here. We need to come here in the winter. Absolutely. Need to come here in the winter when everything is going to be completely white. We need to find a couple of nice gravel strips that will be hard to land on. Do some visual flying with icing. That's going to be fun, right? Do you guys agree? I think so. That's an idea for winter. That's definitely an idea for winter. YouTube works so bad without VPN here. Man, that's sad. That's really sad. That is like very sad. Honestly, pisses me off a little bit, but yeah. Think you'll join my next stream? That'd be great, man. I'd be very happy. Okay, let's see, where are we going? We are actually still maintaining the heading. I wasn't touching the controls. That was pretty good. Let's keep on going. See there, because we're climbing, the density of the air is decreasing, the manifold pressure is decreasing too, so we need to add a bit of power, which is exactly what I'm going to be doing for 36 manifold pressure. You leave on the 8th of August. 8th of August. Ah, then maybe you'll not be able to join. Unless you come on to the weekends, because 8th of August is... It's Friday. No, wait. It's Thursday. Yeah, it's Thursday, so... That's gonna be hard. And we passed 4,500 feet. ShayTP is probably, yep, well ahead of me in ML. That is incredible. that turboprop is flying so quick. You'll be having some vacations. Ah, okay, yeah, then that'd be great. That'd be absolutely fantastic. I don't know what I'll be doing next stream. I am thinking between if the Embraer comes out of beta, we're gonna be flying to London City. ShayTP will come as well on his Q400, so we're gonna do London City ops. And if not, probably I was really thinking about going for the Piper Seneca again, but doing a full night IFR flight. Like, completely IFR at night without visibility, which is probably quite of a challenge. But I am not 100% sure still. Okay. Oil temperature is good, cylinder temperature is good. I think I can close the cowling flaps completely. Let's see, I'm going to close them and then we're going to be monitoring the temperatures. But I think we can, because we're climbing really high. Temperature is, what, it's 9 degrees. 9 or, no wait, it's less, slightly less. It's like maybe 6 degrees outside. But it looks like it's enough. So we're going to be monitoring the temperatures here if they go way high. I'm going to close it. I'm going to open them. If not, I'm going to maintain them closed. Less drag, more power, better climb performance. Let's try to go to 10,000 feet maybe. I mean, we are passing 6,000. Not very far. I've tested my R6 with my lenses, it works fine. I mean, the autofocus is way better than on my 70D. Shooting at night is also much better. Tomorrow I'll go out on the boat. Yeah, that's the magic of new cameras and technology overall. 59 miles now. Let's stop at 7,500. There's no point in going higher. We have the fuel for that, but I don't think we need. We basically literally used half of each tank, so for all these flights. 6.5. Looking good so far. Temperatures, yeah, they slightly increased, but still on the green, so that is fine. I'm using 2000D and 2013, made 70D for my whole life. Oh, well, yeah, that's still an improvement, but there is so much better stuff outside. Ground speed 135. Looks like we are having a headwind or a slight crosswind here. To level off. Temps and pressures aren't good. Yeah, this one rose up quite nicely, but it's still on the green, so we can keep going. And there is level off altitude. Lower nose, decrease manifold pressure, decrease RPM. That's 2000 RPM. Bring the airplane. Let's lean the mixture. Yeah, that one's good. Temperatures are fine, still climbing. Ground speed is increasing, that's great. Drop it to 1000. Looks like it's trimmed now. Manifold pressure 32. I think I'm flying in New Zealand tomorrow in SR22. I haven't installed the rep yet, but I surely do. Did you delete it completely? Oh, you lost your airplane then. You should have kept the rep. Now you have to start over. The reality expansion pack. That's another one. But yeah, guys, chat. Whoever is listening, what do you think is better? I have two choices. If the Embraer comes out of beta, it's gonna be the Embraer. If not, if we don't have an X-Craft, an E-Jet from X-Craft, then I would pick up the Seneca. So, apart from the Seneca, any suggestions? Syncrush Flyer, oh guys, my boss is calling, I have to work at tomorrow, see you and happy landings. Oh man, it's sad that you have to work tomorrow, this weekend, but I totally understand you. Sometimes I need to work on the weekends as well. Man, good luck, I wish you good work tomorrow, and yeah, good luck man, thank you for coming. See you next week. Virtual pilot, what will you pick? Well, if the Embraer will be ready, I will go for the Embraer, because I really want to take it to London City. I think that will be an interesting stream. If the Embraer will not come out, then I might go for the Piper, but still not very sure. I could pick the Piper or maybe something else if you have any good suggestion. So yeah. In the meantime, we have 17 minutes until arrival into Yellowknife. Ground speed is 164, looking good. Got plenty of fuel. Plane is behaving nicely. And what else? Temps and pressures are all good. Approach into Yellowknife should be nice and easy. Got 2 big runways. What's the wind there? 085 at 7, so the wind has actually changed. QNH is 1019. Let me convert that. 1019. That's 3009. Let me correct this. There we go. Set. So I need to check that. Synchronous Flyer, see you, man. Thanks for coming. Moscow, Omsk on the Piper. No, I think that will take too much time. That would take too much time. And probably not a very interesting flight. We could do some suspicious cargo again in Mexico at night. Could pick up the Piper and make a flight in Bulgaria. I don't think there's too many radio navs in Bulgaria, at least as we checked last time. I'd more go into Mexico, fly there, or in the United States. Like do a full IFR, night IFR flight on the Piper. Glider. ML. Yeah, we need to pick the glider, but maybe at a later stage. And we still need to pick the place where to go for the glider. Because I have that place close to Salt Lake, and that's a flight for about 2 hours. Or we could do a race there. We can go to Yellowstone on the glider or on the Piper. Glider to Omsk. Yeah, Yellowstone has an airport actually. I think so. I just need to check if there is enough IFR stuff for that, like VORs and thing. Yeah. 40 minutes. 14. Not 40. Let's check out what do we have for Yellowknife, guys. So I can close this or alternate in case we can't land in Yellowknife. It's gonna be Hay River, so literally fly back, and we have the fuel for that, so that is cool. That's why I haven't closed the charts. So Yellowknife, we have runway 10, we have runway 340. Variation is 16 east. So let's come here to the METAR. Let's update the METAR. It says here wind 150 at 11, right? So because the variation is 16 east, so 150 minus 16, wind is actually coming from 134. That is the actual wind. So if the wind is coming from 134, the best runway for us is 16 or 10. I would probably take runway 10 because it gives us the shorter taxi. We don't have to backtrack the longer runway, and we can vacate at the very end here at Charlie or at Alpha if we land short, and then taxi via Bravo to our terminal, which is right here, the Buffalo terminal. So yeah, that's my plan. Let's go for runway 10, take a little bit of crosswind, Wind is 11 knots for crosswind. Let's take that. I'm gonna... Yeah, I think that could be done. And that's gonna be it. So, regarding obstacles, we just have the trees, which is fine. And that's about it. Landing runway 10, SHATP. Good. Man, you probably are already arriving into Yellowknife. Yeah, man, look at SHATP. He's going quick on that Q400. And I'm getting closer to Emil. Emil, what altitude are you on, by the way? Let's take a look at Volante so far. How are we doing? Look at this. So, first leg from Yellowknife. A little bit twitchy because we were talking about carburetors and all that stuff in the cruise, but that's fine. Then a nice visual approach with a landing of 151. Then second leg, a bit less twitchy. Over to Hay River with a nice approach. To land, slight overshoot, just a slight overshoot, nothing significant. Whoops, sorry. Then we departed from Hay River and flew to Fort Resolution. Decent track, nice visual approach, minus 230, a little bounce there, that wasn't good. And then we took off from the opposite runway, we took a little bit of tailwind, that was fine. And here we are on course into Yellowknife. Emil is flying at 750. I thought you were squawking 750. And look at that, that's SHATP's flight. Great stuff. Very, very great stuff. So let's keep flying the plane. A little bit offset there. That's correct. Temps and pressures are all looking good. We can take over Vlad. Control plus. Which key is that? Do you mean Control T, by the way? Oh, it's flying so nicely and straight, and now I botched it. That's correct. Let's correct that. No, I'm not going to overtake you. I'm going to maintain this this speed and this altitude because we're flying nicely. So we should be arriving in about 10 minutes. I'll be flying straight ahead for the airport, then join the right downwind for runway 10, and do a right base turn to land. That's my plan. Check the outsides. Yeah, I'm gonna need to explore the possibility of maybe some gravel runways, custom sceneries or something like that, and coming back here in the winter to really enjoy the flying this plane into some more complicated and remote gravel strips. That should be pretty fun. Maintaining good attitude, rest fine. Fuel is good, literally half tank. That's a lot of fuel. 8 minutes to go. When there will be 6 minutes, we're gonna start down. Or no, you know what? When there will be 6.5 minutes, we're gonna start down. I'm gonna try to maintain a decent rate of about 1,000 feet per minute. And that should be good. So far I'm enjoying the flight. I hope you guys are enjoying the flight too. Or the flights, because we did multiple ones. But it's been really nice so far. And I'm going to push the speed quite high up. I'll descend like 180 knots. As you see, guys, autopiloting up, no problem for us. At all. Flying steady like a rock. And there's approaching 6 minutes and a half. Let's go. A couple of clicks of trim down. Let's pull the mixture full forward. Fuel pumps on. Let the airplane accelerate. Want to go minus 1,000. It's probably this airplane has a lot of drag because it's not very aerodynamic. There we go, 160. Afghan approach from me. Let's go. I'm pushing it. I'm pushing it to watch me. I can't watch you right now. How can I watch you? I don't even know where you are. Watch you on the map? You're still very far. Ah, watch me after you land. Ah, you're gonna let me pass? Okay. There is 180 knots. Almost 180 knots. Look at us go. And that's the airport, by the way. Should we see Shay TP? He should be there. He should be there. Oh yeah, he's parking. Landed, felt smooth. Great, JTP, congrats. You completed this gravel run. Well done. Going nice and fast, 200 knots, ground speed. Could go slightly to the left, let's shorten up the distance. There's nobody going for the other runway, so we can go. Look at us fly. It's pretty fast. Pretty nice. Passing 4,000 feet. Lights are on, pumps are on. This flight is heading. Should be able to set ourselves for a nice approach. There we go, we can see Shea TP there. My question is, where's Emil? Not so sure where is Emil, but he's gonna wait for us. Okay, approaching 3,000 feet. So far, so good. $7,500 feet over fields. Oh boy, are you really going to do that crazy approach? Alright, and I'm gonna do the next thing. I'm gonna try to save as much time as possible. So I'm still flying quite fast. So I'm gonna decrease the power. Carburetor heat on. Start to slow down. We are beam the threshold. Give it a little bit of time. And let's go, turning right. Decrease the power even more. Let the speed drop. Trim the airplane. Make sure we are doing a good job. Brought it to idle. Maintain minus 500. That's 2,000 feet. Keep decreasing the speed. Yellowknife traffic, Buffalo 311 on base, runway 10. Gear down. Flaps 1/2. Adding just a little bit of power. That's 90 knots, let's go flaps full. Turning final. Applying the power, 90 knots, looking good. Runway's well in sight. Flaps set, gear down, mixture full. Fuel pumps on, landing checks complete. In the airplane. We're slightly high now, but that's good. Could land a little bit late to vacate the runway at the very end, or we could land early and vacate the runway a bit early as well. Speed is 90, looking good. Set, stabilize the speed for 85. Almost there. Stable, nice and line up. Thank you, cooler. Now I just need to land it nicely. Slightly high still, but that's fine. Probably will vacate at the very end. Emil will have to wait. Emil, just give me the opportunity to taxi to the gate. And now, just slightly decrease the power. And that's a touchdown. Flaps up, drops full forward. No bounces. Let it roll. Cowling flaps open. I'm not even braking. It's decelerating by itself. Fuel pump's off. Great stuff. I'll leave the carb on till we park. Yeah, thank you guys. Soft landing sticker coming in. Braking a little bit. And vacated. Here's the terminal. Man, I need to get that scenery. That scenery is good, but it's just that the orthos are not nice. Landing lights off, anti-collision off, front spawner can go to off. Yellowknife traffic, Buffalo 311, running 10 vacated. Clear on right, clear on left. Let's just park up really quickly, shut down and watch Emil's Afghan approach. You can see me up over the airfield. 1 second, let me just park and I will check you out. Because I wanna see how much fuel did we save. Alright, let's try to park up for this marshaller. Even though I don't think he's gonna do a very good job. Poor fella. Oh, I can barely see the guy. I mean, I can't even see the guy. I'm gonna run you over, man. Okay, I'm gonna just stop here. And stop. Brakes are set. Text lights are off. Let's switch everything off. Radio master, inverter. This can go off. And gens can go off. And we can switch off mixtures. Beacon light off, nav light off, magnetos off. I guess I can close the cowling flaps as well. And switch off the battery supply. And that is it. Open the doors. Welcome to Yellowknife. And now let's watch the where is Emil? Said he's above the field. Let me see. Yeah, he's just now overflying the field. Ah, there he is. Okay, Emil, I can see you now. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody, I present to you Emil crashing his DC-3. Let's see how will he do. 7,500 feet above the airfield. You have 30 seconds to get down here. Alright, I think there he comes. Oh boy. There he goes. Oh, are you side slipping? Are you doing a side slip? That looked like a side slip. I should have put a timer. Dear passengers, to your view, a crashing DC-3 with Captain Emil. Are you gonna go in circles? GTP minus 47, that's incredible. Press Control M and cycle to walk turbulence. What do you mean? Ah, to wake turbulence, looks cool. Yeah, I did that. Control M. Look at this. Wake turbulence from ML. Do we have any on the runway still? No. There he goes. Oh boy, that almost looked like a stall, but I think that was a side slip. I still feel like we're a little bit high, but maybe that'll be enough. Just not very well lined up with the runway. You're literally having fun, aren't you? Shady P is still parked right there. You look like the guy who drops parachuters in my airfield. Look at that side slip. You better stabilize that plane. Well, if you are carrying passengers, I'm not sure they will fly with you again. Nice. Welcome to Yellowknife. Oh boy. Oh boy. Emil is drifting on the ground like he was drifting on the air. Nicely done. Well, what about us, guys? We need to check a couple of things. First of all, we need to check how much fuel do we have left, because we made all the calculations, so I find that important. So let's see, how much fuel do we have left? We landed with 572 kilos on board. That's enough to complete one more leg. Literally, one more leg. So that's very good. And that means we have burned on this leg 719 minus 572, 147. That's 4 kilos within the plant from SimBrave. That's very good stuff. And also, we need to check Volanta to see the final approach, the final leg into Yellowknife. This is our nice turn in and landing of minus 55 feet per minute. I suggest to check the replay and then end the stream. Do you guys want to see the replay? Let's take a look at the replay. Just as Emil parked right here next to us, and then we're gonna end the stream. So let's see. Replay mode on. I'm inside the building. Move it back. I hope it doesn't crash. Nope, doesn't seem like it's gonna crash. Good stuff. Okay, here we are. Here we are. Let's set up the good spotting camera. And hit play. Let's watch it. Minus 55. That plane does look good. Ah, that was nice. That was great. That was a legit landing. Yeah. I'm happy with that. I'm totally happy with that. So, guys, thank you everybody for coming by. I hope you enjoyed this little trip with Buffalo Airways DC-3 across 4 airports, some gravel strips, and that was pretty fun. I enjoyed it and hope you learned a little bit regarding fuel planning and carburetor icing and carburetor heat and all that stuff. So yeah, hope to see you next week. Thank you everybody. hit the like button if you haven't already. And yeah, thank you everybody for the support. See you next week. Bye bye, guys. Stay awesome.